Most people think you need the old city, the markets, the famous streets to make good street photographs. I deliberately didn't go to a place like that. I went to Gilo, a regular southern Jerusalem neighborhood, not touristy, not dramatic, not romantic, and not famous. Just everyday life. And I came back with portraits, with reflections, layers, and real human moments. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. The gear I brought, the shots I took from the hip, how I approached strangers, and the simple habits that turn an ordinary place into strong photographs. Stay until the end because the last little tip and story that happened wasn't planned at all, and it could be a really important lesson of any outing that will help us get more interesting photographs. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Kowalski. Welcome to our channel on Meaningful Photography for people who want their images to actually mean something, not just document what they see, but to tell a story and to have depth and intention. If that sounds like you, I'd love you to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who might need the same reminder, who might enjoy learning more, that you don't necessarily need famous locations and magnificent scenery to make meaningful work. I went out last week. I did something I almost never do. I brought two cameras with me. First, I packed up two cameras instead of having to switch lenses. One is my Sony A7 IV. I'm using a 16-25. I want to be able to have wide. I could have used a 35 fixed, but this gives me a little bit wider because I'm taking my Nikon with the 85, so it gives me a little bit of a longer reach, and I can test out this new 85 TT Artisan. I brought my Sony A7 IV with the 16-25 2.8 lens for wide scenes and environmental photographs and establishing shots, and I brought my Nikon Z7 II with a brand new 85mm from TT Artisan for tighter, more intimate portraits. Now, I usually keep it simple. You know me, one body, one lens, and honestly, most of the time, that's all you need. So tip number one, you don't need a bag full of gear. You don't need every focal length. If you have only one lens, you can zoom with your feet. Move closer, step back, change your angle, work the scene instead of changing lenses all the time. It'll keep you more focused. The camera is secondary, your gear is secondary. Your decision about what to include and what to leave out, that's the photograph. The first thing I do when I arrive somewhere is not to immediately start chasing people. I want to understand the place first. So I look for wide establishing shots. I look at the streets, the buildings, where the light's coming from, what is around me. Even the landscape shots in the distance, because even in an ordinary city neighborhood, if you lift your eyes, there are layers and views that you might otherwise miss if you're just looking for the small detail or just for people milling around. Gilo is not a very glamorous site or a very interesting neighborhood per se. It's an everyday neighborhood, shops, streets, little malls, people going around about their business. I did shoot some frames from the hip just to get the rhythm of the place and to catch some images of people coming up and down the steps, but I got wide shots. I showed the mall, the scenes from around, even from above. And then I got some medium shots of people walking past me as I'm walking down the steps and they're walking up, or vice versa. Let the place, let the location introduce itself before you start looking for the people and the details inside it. And I want to share something that works almost everywhere in a city, and most photographers walk right past it. Reflections. We usually think of puddles after rain or even glass windows in front of the shop, and those are really cool. I love shooting that. But when I went out that day, I found a whole bank of metal mailboxes, and the people standing near them were only visible as reflections in the metal surface. The people weren't even directly in front of me. Their reflections became the photograph. So sometimes the most interesting image isn't the obvious one. It's the one maybe hiding right beside it. You don't need fancy architecture. You just need to notice what's already there, what might be reflecting the world back at you, figuratively and literally. As I kept walking, I started looking more for people. Sometimes all it takes is a simple hello as someone passes, a smile, a quick exchange. Just that tiny moment of acknowledgement softens everything. As it happened when I was walking down the steps and this older man hunched over, walked by me. I wasn't sure if he'd really want me to take his photo. He had a lot of equipment on his back. But I stopped, I said hello, asked him if I could help him, and I got a good few shots, and I thought, he is interesting. These are interesting shots. He's an interesting person. He wasn't so conversational. So I kept on, and I saw a strip of like local neighborhood simple storefronts. Older men. As I talked with them, I found out they were retired. Some decided to drive taxis after they finished the jobs that they had done all their lives. So basically we have people here that we asked permission, and then we also told them to keep going about their business to take their photos. So we had people that didn't know. We had a few portraits where I asked them to sit and do, and then to keep, where I asked Chezi to just sit and let me take his picture, and then I let them talk and be with each other, and then I took my own photos. This is the best. They were sitting outside, having a coffee, buying lottery tickets, smoking their cigarettes, just living their afternoon. So I have to be honest with you, before I got there, I was starting to feel like maybe this wasn't the right decision. I wasn't getting anything particularly strong or meaningful. And then near the end of the time where I found these stores and these people, I was so happy. I stayed with them for the whole end of my outing, which lasted longer than I expected. There were interesting faces, weathered faces, rugged skin, the way they sat, the way they smoked, the quiet stories in their expressions and in the tales they told me. So I walked over and asked them if I could photograph them, and they smiled, and almost every one of them said yes. The one that said no, obviously I did not photograph. I told them I was going to talk with them, and part of the time I was going to photograph them while I was talking with them. That way the whole thing sort of flowed, it stayed natural. The conversation and the camera at the same time. Sometimes it was just the camera, sometimes it was just the conversation. Now some of the frames happened while we were talking, and others happened while I asked them just to let me shoot for the moment. And that's where street photography becomes something more than just observation. You're not just grabbing the shots, you're connecting. That's the part that stays with you long after the outing is over. One of the guys, before I was shooting him one-on-one, I overheard him tell other people in the store that his father was undergoing surgery. I asked him about it. I said, get me the name of your father so I could pray for him. And then that opened him up, and he was talking with me and drinking from the can and smoking, and everything contributed to our connection, to the meaning, and to more interesting shots. So there's so many things to think about when you go out. Think wide shots, think more medium, a little closer in, and then think really close in. Think about reflections, look around you, look for the archways, look for interesting passages, look for the interesting people. Now, it's very important to understand that not just photography tips are important or ideas connected to photography. These outings have angles that are safety related that I want to also share and emphasize to everyone here. Practical ideas and tips. I just came from harsh midday Middle East August weather, sun. I had my water bottle. I had a few water bottles, and I always made sure to drink. Anytime you go out, have water with you, have a drink. Stop and get a bite. Keep your energy going. And it's really important to realize that you're outside with the elements. Take a hat. Be careful when you're crossing the street. You're outside, you're really focused on your shot, but you gotta be careful when you cross. Wear sunscreen, and always be aware of what's going on around you, because your brain could be completely locked onto the next frame and seeing something exciting or looking for something interesting. And it's very easy to forget what is happening around you. The photograph is never worth your safety. Please remember that. I thought I was finished. I was happy in the end with what I had. I was really scared I was going to come home with nothing interesting until I met these men. So I was walking back to my car and feeling good, and then I noticed this overpass. Now, there was no water underneath this. You know I'm drawn to water, bridges. It was just the city, but it was still a bridge. And I always love bridges, so I walked over and made a few more frames. And that's really a lesson that photography keeps teaching me, no matter how many years I've been doing this. Never stop looking until you actually are leaving in your car. Sometimes the last 5 minutes or the last few minutes could bring you some of your favorite shots. It could be places that you're photographing that you didn't notice because you were walking the other way. Even at an event, sometimes the last shot I get could be something dramatic. So here's the simple framework I want to leave you with. Start wide. Establish the scene, the light, the feeling of the place. Move into medium shots. Begin introducing people into the frame. Get close. Look for emotion, expression, character. Keep your eyes open for reflections in unexpected places, for frames like arches or doorways and passages. Talk to people. Be warm. Be genuine. See who is open to you. I was surprised that they were so easily open to me photographing them. And don't leave too early, because there are stories everywhere if you're willing to slow down long enough to notice them. There are stories everywhere if you're willing to slow down long enough to notice them. The challenge is never the location. It's always about learning to see. Of course, it's fun to find beautiful locations, but don't limit yourself. Go out and shoot like I did that day. I said, I need to get out. I just need to go out and shoot. And I said, I'll go somewhere close that's easy to park. And I found interesting people and interesting scenes. So if you're interested in meaningful photography, the kind that has soul and story, I would love to invite you to join my free school community. The link is in the description below. We talk, where people share images, people share what they feel. It's an easy platform. And if you're looking for more personal guidance, I also offer one-on-one mentorship where you talk to me alone. We work together to develop your photographic voice, and we go over your work, and I give you assignments to help move you forward, and you will be creating photographs with more meaning and intention. You can find me on Facebook at Rebecca Kowalski and on Instagram at Rebecca Kophoto. The conversation continues in all of these platforms in different ways. We connect, and I feel so connected to so many of you through one or more of the platforms. All the gear I used in this outing and in general is linked in the description. If you purchase through these affiliate links, it helps support the channel at no extra cost to you, and sometimes even at a discount. And the Insta360, this Ace 2 bundle, one of my favorite tools for capturing behind the scenes footage on outings like this one, is great. I attach it to this tripod. The tripod extends. I plant it on the sidewalk, and then it captures what I'm doing while I'm shooting stills. There's a full review that I did on it months ago, and I'll be working with a new microphone that they just came out with. If there's any photography topic you want me to cover next, please tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Until next time, keep looking, keep connecting, keep creating meaningful photographs, and I'll see you in the next video.